Hey, loves. So I saw this post on social media recently, and I will probably share it myself soon, actually. But the idea was that share, you should not mistake shared trauma for compatibility in a relationship. And I wanted to talk to you for just a minute about that and why it is that the fact that someone understands what you're going through isn't always necessarily the best for a healthy relationship. Hey Diana, I hope that you are having a great Tuesday. So, we're going to talk about three reasons why just because the person understands what you're going through, that does not mean that they are your purpose partner. So, I want to start out by saying that sometimes having shared experiences can be a good thing. For example, my husband and I were both bullied as children. So, because we have that commonality, we understand each other in the sense that sometimes we can be a little bit sensitive to certain things, someone making comments about certain aspects of our looks or our personality, and we get it because we've been there. I know people who have battled addiction or alcoholism or something similar, and they ended up with a partner who also had that experience. So the two of them kind of partner together and keep each other healthy. So there are cases in which this is actually a very good thing. But because there are cases where this is a good thing, too often what I see is women enter into a relationship with someone who has a similar past as them, and they think that this person is going to understand, going to be sympathetic, and then they end up leaving this relationship more hurt than when they entered it. So let's talk about three reasons for that. For starters, hurt people hurt people, even if it is not intentional. So what I mean by this is that if you are still hurting, if you haven't dealt with that hurt, what happens is you enter into a relationship expecting someone else to fix you. And because you haven't dealt with that hurt, you haven't dealt with that pain, you end up pushing the person away because you're not able to be open, you're not able to be vulnerable. Or you end up with, you've been doing the work and you are ready to move on and be in a healthy relationship, but this person is not. So they end up sabotaging the relationship. They end up finding ways to hurt you, and it's going to be even easier for them to hurt you because they've been through the same pain that you've been through, so they completely understand how best to hurt you. And I'm not saying that the person is doing this on purpose, although let's be real, there are trash people who do that. But there are sometimes cases where someone is so deep in their hurt and pain that they don't even realize that they're constantly hurting the people around them. And those of you who, like me, who have been through past hurt, past abuse, you can probably relate to that idea, and you may end up attracting a partner like that. The second thing is, at the end of the day, we are mirrors to the life that we see around us. This is why happy people always see the best in everything, and this is why people who are sad, depressed, tend to see the worst in things. What you focus on, you get more of. So when you are a mirror to the life that you see outside and around you, how this relates to love and relationships is that you may end up attracting people who have dealt with the same pain that you have, as God's way of showing you that you haven't dealt with the pain. So this person is kind of in your life for a season to show you that you have not dealt with this. You may think that you're over it, but that you're not. And by God allowing this person to come into your life, this man is going to show you that you still have a lot of work that you need to do. So again, don't automatically think that because you are in a relationship with someone who has been through the same type of hurt that you've been through, that this just means that they understand and that the two of you are going to be able to work on things together. Sometimes this, again, is a sign that you not only need to move on from this relationship, but that maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship until you learn how to deal with this, because otherwise you keep attracting those type of people into your life. The third thing is you have to realize that when it comes to development, when it comes to our life's journey, everyone is on different stages. So what this means is that you could be with someone who, let's just say, you have a past of having been in abusive relationships. And you could meet someone who also has a past of being in abusive relationships, whether those are romantic relationships or they were abused by family. So you're like, okay, the two of us get each other, we understand each other, and we are both committed to healing from this. So this will be a great relationship because we're both committed to doing the work to heal. Again, it sometimes works out, but more often than not, it doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't is because people develop at different rates. So you could set off on this journey to heal yourself. You could be watching all the videos on Facebook. You could be listening to all the podcasts. You could be reading all the books, going to all the self-help workshops. You could have a therapist and you could have a coach. And you're doing all of this and you're making radical change and you're making it fast. The other person is taking a much slower approach. And because of that, go back to my first example on how hurt people, because they are not healing at the same rate that you are, they are still going to continue to do things to sabotage the relationship. It is incredibly rare that you find a situation where two people are battling something, they come together and they are able to heal at the same rate. One of the best examples of this is weight loss. How often do you see it that a couple, the two of them are both overweight, so they go on this journey, they decide, hey, we're going to lose weight together, and what ends up happening is one person loses weight much faster than the other person. One person is a little bit more dedicated than the other person, or has better genetics, whatever the reason, one person's losing weight a lot faster. And the other partner gets upset, gets jealous, starts doing things to sabotage the other person's diet, like bringing cookies into the house, because they are not healing, they're not growing, they're not progressing at the same rate. The same thing happens when it comes to our emotions. So the best thing that you can do for your future partners and do for yourself, more importantly, is that you want to be in a place where you have already healed from these toxic relationships. And once you have healed from toxic relationships, you're much less likely to attract people who are still dealing with those. And if you do, you're able to spot it and gracefully end the relationship. In fact, if you hop over to my group, Secure the Ring, then you will see a video that I just did not too long ago about how to end a toxic relationship with dignity. But once you are able to do that, then again, you tend to attract better quality. You have better discernment, and you're not at a place where you are desperate for someone to heal you, which frankly clouds your judgment. So again, these are 3 reasons why it's not necessarily the best idea to be in a relationship with someone who, when you're dealing with pain, that person is also dealing with the same pain. Because 1, hurt people hurt people. Number 2, you are often a mirror to what it is that is going on in your life. So oftentimes attracting these people is a sign that you still need to work on it. And 3, people heal at different rates. So let me know if you have any questions. If you're watching this live, say hi. If you're watching this on the replay, just use #replay, and I will say hello to you later. And again, if you have questions, I will come back and answer those later. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.